Welcome to episode 9, part 2 of the TM GolfCast. This episode is with Harrison Wood, and we talk about now the cultural management practices that he uses on the golf course at Saxon Golf Course, the things that he does differently than other golf courses, and so we just have a nice conversation about just some of the stuff that he does on grounds crew that makes a difference, and people see the differences. So this is episode 9, part 2. Take a listen.
Yeah. What is the craziest thing you guys have had to work on together here? Like, is it the pipes or the?
It would be the irrigation.
Irrigation. Now, has that had issues this year at all? I know that's had every time I've been here.
We haven't had to run it much.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
just because of all the rain.
Yeah, we're like 10 inches over the average rainfall.
Yeah.
That's always our biggest one. Last year when we had to run the pump with a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
From back there. Yeah, I had to go back there a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like in the middle of the morning, I had to go back, like 3 o'clock in the morning, go back and refuel that tractor while it's running in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know, that sucked. But I would say for sure the irrigation's always the long process, the tedious process, and fixing pipe and everything else. You know, it's been in the ground for almost 60 years, and that's the thing that doesn't happen all the time, but it's always a pain.
Yeah.
Because then you don't get to mow rough or something else that also needs done, because you got to water the greens and the tees and the approaches, and that's why. Could you imagine having to dig up an entire fairway to fix irrigation in the fairways?
That'd be
That's why, like, I'm glad sometimes that we don't have stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
But it still looks great. Like the conditions, even though we don't have fairway irrigation, like a higher end club, it's still playable and it's still wonderful, and it looks like it has irrigation.
Yeah. So we're since I've taken this role, I'm pushing for stuff to, basically the only reason why I've probably stuck around as long as I have is, I like doing it.
Yeah.
But I take no matter what it is, I take a lot of pride in the stuff that I do. So, if there ever was someone that would ever, like a third party would ever come in and judge people's work, that mine every single day would probably be better, because I want it to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm kind of pushing him to do that more. Take a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be done quick and dirty, just so it's done, so that you can say it's done. Make it look real nice. Like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
We got a few new pieces of equipment that have helped out with time and everything else this year. But for whatever reason, the thing that I always have to get told about, and anybody that knows me, I get told this 800 times a day. It seems like an endless amount of times over the length of the season. It's all, hey boy, when are you gonna speed these greens up?
I've had that. I remember when I was working.
Hey son, when are you gonna?
Ask that all the time too.
Oh, dude, more old guys call me son, and boy, it drives me nuts. And I'm almost 30, but that's always the thing with here.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's other local places like I've mentioned, Aubrey's.
Yeah.
Like their greens.
Yeah.
They're
like
what you want.
Yeah.
Right. And using similar equipment and stuff like that. I'm not going to pay somebody to take the entire day to roll greens. We have 28 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would take forever, right?
That would take a
day
and a half.
But can we cut them a little bit shorter? I know that we can.
We can, but the problem is that gonna put more stress on the
Well, it always
greens?
does.
Yeah.
But as long as we stay up on, watering and our chem applications, then there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like every year, my Peanut has said this, he goes, every year that you've been doing more, it seems that stuff has improved every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, I appreciate that, but that's actually what I am trying to do. I'm glad that you see that. Because like this year, something as simple as I had everything organized and everybody knew what direction that they were going to mow that day.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember seeing that whiteboard you got.
Yeah, especially on greens, and that's how I've organized it. So nobody has to ask, oh, hey, we mowing, you know, what direction, you know, go look at the board. And it's at, you know, a 90-degree angle to what we've done the day before. And if you go to the right, or anybody's version of right, you know, I'm not all that particular about that. And the next day you go to the left. And it was actually cool. I saw for the first time, because I always did that myself when I was young mowing, because that's just what I knew from mowing grass. You don't mow grass the same direction every single time. It's just not what you want to do. You know, you want stuff to stand up straight and not be rolled over one side or the other, because then eventually it gets longer. Yeah. And especially on greens, you know, we cut them at 5/32 of an inch. Most people cut them at an eighth. So that's 1/32 of an inch shorter. And you know, everybody uses bent grass in their greens. You know, bent and POA. The POA is just a round. And I finally, this is actually so funny. It was just a few weeks ago. We were adjusting a mower, and I asked him. I go, "But what actually is it that, you know, is it the bed knife? You know, with a real mower, is it the bed knife, the thickness of it that, you know, gets you the cut? You know, how high the cut is?" And he goes, "Oh no, it's that front roller. It's real simple." And I was like, "Okay, like let's try to do this." You know, now other places, you know, that just cut them as short as they can, you know, and then they end up burnt and cracked, you know, in the middle of the season. It's not something that we want to do, but I think we can, and I think we can get away with it, and I think that we can make them a lot better, a lot better this year. I remember Peanut and I were out, and we had just had, you know, a fresh sharpen, you know, fresh adjustment on the greens mowers that week, and it was a Friday, so we had, you know, 5 cuts on them. Yeah. And we were on 13, and it just looked so smooth because of mowing them in different directions, and the grass really wasn't rolled too much the one way to the other. And I was like, okay, so doing this stuff actually is making them better. And it's funny, yeah, Dee and Dave were out one time maybe a week and a half ago. Okay. And with it being cold, we're not mowing. No. Because the grass isn't growing, and they were like, well, like, did you guys like lower like the mowers on some of them? Because some of them feel like, I'm like, we haven't even mowed them, dude. So like, that's the kind of the point that I want. It's funny to me when people come in, because evergreen's the same. Oh yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same amount of roll. I always like to educate people that greens don't have speed, and they don't have speed. They have an amount of roll. You know, that's what a stimp meter's for. Yeah. It doesn't judge, oh, hey, did that go 5 miles an hour? No, it measures how far it was able to roll, right? So I mean, you know, us, we've always focused on, because they're green, they're gorgeous, and for the most part, they're smooth. Yeah. You know, they're not going to be lightning fast, you know, but they're going to be that exact same consistency the entire season, because we do take care of them. And like being in charge of the chemical applications and staying up on that is really helping. You know, Dawn, our chemical guy, you know, it's taken a few seasons to try to get JR to, you know, change a few things, use better stuff, rotate using stuff. That was like one of the biggest things, that you keep putting the same thing down every year. Yeah. Or it's just like anything else, they adapt. You know, the disease that we deal with adapts. So doing that, and we've been good. Really? We've been so good. Besides, you know, a couple of spots, you know, the typical dollar spot, you know, issues like on the East Course, we don't see it because we're already killing it before it even gets there. Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice to see, and it's, you know, if somebody else who works at a country club or something like that has always been doing that, it's like, oh, I don't even know what dollar spot even looks like. When you get up to a green and you see, okay, well, why does it look like little white spider webs all over the place? So I think that we can do that, and I think we're gonna have a conversation about that with Cutnam Lair. He actually handed me the user manual to one of the reels that we use. It's like, yeah, it's just that adjustment. Well, okay, try it on the East course.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, really.
Try it on the East course. It might be the best thing that we'd ever done, as long as we stay up on. When they don't need to be cut, don't cut them. Just like usual stuff. You don't need to burn them out. Intentionally. They can be a little bit longer one part of the week to then be nice again.
And we gotta understand too that like this isn't a high-end club where they have all the money.
Oh
in
yeah.
the world.
We don't have members. It's just walk-ons and weekend tee times.
Yeah, and you're doing all you can with what you got.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but then we also, I'm glad that you said that, because that doesn't mean that we also need to cut corners that we don't need to cut.
That's true.
And that's kind of, that's kind of the thing, and I think just making slight improvements on stuff over time really does help.
Mm-hmm.
And we can continue to do that without risking too much. And it's just nicer if you're not I don't like to be stagnant.
Yeah.
Right. I always want to improve on everything. It doesn't matter. Because somebody is.
Yeah.
And there's within this 10-mile radius, 15-mile radius. What are there, like 30 golf courses? There's a lot. You just go up Route 8. There's 5 on there. So it is. If that's the one thing, this is my whole argument. So people can complain about the fairways not being cut super duper short. Well, it's like you're not in the fairway all the time.
Yeah.
And I see you play golf. Similar to the greens. Guys that complain about it. I hear it all the time. This and that. Well, the greens are nice.
Yeah.
So all they do is complain about how quick they are. Well, I always offer to show them how to putt. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I have no problem going from, going somewhere else that has really fast greens to then coming back here and back and forth, whatever. It's still putting.
Yeah.
And you played 18 holes. So if you couldn't adjust to that, whatever, that's the way that I think. But if that's the only thing that we constantly hear about, well, then why not try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we can be stubborn all we want and say, oh, well, yeah, no, we're not going to, but why not try?
Exactly, yeah.
We're not going to kill them. We're definitely not going to we're definitely not going to kill them by trying to do this. It's not like we have, just fescue greens,
for sure.
Like it's bent and poa. It's what everybody has. Mm-hmm. So why not? That's going to be one of the things that I'm going to bring up for next year, and it'll just be simple.
Yeah. So is there any changes right now that you see that are going to change for next year that you don't have to talk to them about, like you've already set in place?
No, we're just going to continue on trying to be, better organized.
Okay.
Because how it always was. All right, we all stand around until, we get told what's going on.
Yeah.
That's why I have my boards and, I'm trying. Communication is a huge one.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
And just like in any business, if you don't know what's going on, well, then nothing really goes on until you get, hollered at or, told something. It's, so that stuff we're going to continue improving on. The chemicals we already got our pre-order stuff, which is nice. And using better stuff, using it when we need to use it. There's an app I even have on my phone to track, bluegrass weevil, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You remember what happened to 14 green? I think it was last season. I think it was the season before.
Yeah. Happened to a couple greens.
Yeah, and that was bluegrass weevil.
Yeah.
And Dawn had always told us that, like, yeah, I mean, it's around.
Yeah.
And it comes out of the trees. They come out of the trees from there. So we had stuff for that. We had new white grub stuff this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few of the like the green banks and stuff on the East Course. The number 6 got tore up pretty good by skunk. But other than that, like, remember last year it was all of 13.
Oh, that
number 7 back there. Like, but we don't have that this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we started using a different formula, and we applied that way long at the beginning of the year.
Oh, okay.
Which was nice, and I'd looked into it, and people, we were at different conventions, different turf grass conventions, and they weren't sure if it would work. Well, we were using the same stuff for years.
Yeah.
And it has worked well. But like, even when you dig a hole, it's funny.
You'll still find them.
Yeah, like, and then that means that obviously the animals that want to eat them do find them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been good. So we're just going to continue improving on stuff like that. I really do want to. I mean, I'm just going to tell them, hey, we'll have one mower that goes out and does it at a shorter cut and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not going to kill it right now because it's
right. So, and that's one of my buddies said, oh, well, you should try it now because like they're not even really growing and you're not really gonna, kill nothing now. It's going, and I'm like, yeah, just you don't do this stuff, so just leave it up to me. But yeah, that's definitely one because I'm sick and tired of hearing about that.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I do get them up to a speed that I like and that's comparable to other places, it still won't be enough. But no. I'll know that I had actually done something to do it. So
now what about rolling? Besides from cutting lower,
right?
Rolling, because I know.
Well, I'll give you a line that JR gives people that say that. This is where they get rolled every day.
Yeah. They do get rolled every day, but
by the mower.
Mm-hmm.
See, well, I had mentioned that before. Like, I've never run one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Being operated. Who were we just gonna have one extra person here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that spends all day rolling them.
Yeah, really.
Well, yeah, they're only like 30. It's only like 32 inches wide. Some of those greens, it's like, okay, back and forth. Plus, it's just another expense.
Mm-hmm.
It not only is it a you got to pay somebody to do that.
Yeah.
But like those rollers aren't cheap. I remember I had looked at them. We had spent a lot of time. I had looked at them. And there's ones made by Jake. There's ones,
everybody makes them.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But like they're, a couple grand. And, can you justify it? And I don't think I can.
Yeah.
But I think we can cut them shorter.
Yeah, that is one thing we could do, yeah. Now, how many times, just because I've been learning a lot more about turf grass stuff in the one class I have, how many times do you guys aerify? Just
once.
Just once? Okay.
Just once.
Ever thought about aerifying more? Because doesn't that add sand to the ground that makes it firmer?
Right.
Yeah. Just top dressing. Do we top dress? How often do you top dress it?
Once, man.
Once.
That's only once. Now, that is definitely something that we probably won't ever do. Other than I did like what we did with the East Course greens.
Okay.
And they came back in a week and a half, it seemed like.
Really?
And we didn't put any top dress on them.
Really? Wow.
So
you just spread more all the old plugs around.
Didn't even do that.
Really?
We just scraped them off and let them heal up.
Wow.
So we used skinnier tines.
Okay, yeah, you did say that.
Which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, well, with that, we could do them. But then again, it's who's volunteering to aerify all the greens.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
You've seen that process here, and it's because other golf courses do a few holes at a time.
Yeah.
We get a 9 done in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think down at Nemacolin it took a whole week for one golf course.
Yeah.
For everything though, tee boxes, fairways, and greens.
Nice.
Yeah. Took
That'd
a whole
be
week.
nice. I'd be done already here. But yeah, that's always something, we kind of laugh when we're at a convention and there's somebody that asks a question that clearly is from a club.
Mm-hmm.
With members, they don't even think about money.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, we top dress them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense for a public golf course.
Yeah.
I could see, depending upon what kind of a season we have, I could see us maybe punching some holes a month into the season, something like that, when stuff's still. But then again, it would be me doing it.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I got other stuff to do. So it is kind of nice that we know that second week in September, we're punching holes.
Yeah.
On greens. But we don't do that stuff. Aerify once a year. I don't even know what grade of sand we use.
Okay.
Some of it does look pretty coarse, which that was another thing. But I mean, I can't remember how many ton of sand we get for all the greens and what that would end up costing.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see kind of reworking that process, right?
Okay.
To make it easier to get them back to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Because there were some of them that were so wet this year that that it just, you couldn't mat the sand. You just couldn't. So the sand was there until, I got a blower on them and rematting them, like 11, 15, they were just wet. And it literally looked like you didn't even try to mat the sand in because it just was so wet. It would just stick to everything because it has been real wet this year. But then, a couple weeks go by and then it's fine again. But I don't want to try to throw too many things, at him because he's been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah.
That's tough to get somebody to. I'm glad that I've been able to improve as much as I have, because JR just likes cutting grass.
Yeah.
And we all do.
Mm-hmm.
But me being the player and the assistant superintendent, I see a lot more. Going to different places with you, playing some better courses, more expensive courses. I get to see a lot more of that, and I always found it. I actually was thinking about this when you asked me to do this. Like you had mentioned that you're taking more turf grass stuff, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure that the kids that that are your fellow students never actually work the grounds.
You'd be surprised. A few of them have, but not as long as I have. But like they
Right.
have cut greens before and things like that.
Yeah, and that's cool because you think of, at least my mindset, which isn't correct, that you would be one of the few, which I'm sure that you are, because not a lot of people do want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're either, or I'm assuming that people either want to caddy instead. They're on the golf course, either working in the pro shop, whatever, but people that actually go out and like know how to mow a green and an approach, and surrounding areas is totally different.
Yeah.
Like you get just a different view of the golf course, because like even people that have golfed here for years, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, doesn't know this golf course as well as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that that goes into it gives you a different respect for it, which I think is cool. Because it's fun talking to other people that do this stuff.
Yeah.
That are players as well. Like I always do have fun conversations with John Aubrey.
Yeah.
He was a professional golfer.
Yeah.
And then runs a golf course, and it's the same kind of stuff that goes on here. He and JR are real similar.
Really?
Yeah, they're real similar. But so it's just fun to get a different perspective. And I might actually talk to him a little bit more about some of the stuff that he does.
Okay.
Because if I could get our greens close to his, people would talk about him all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
But see, like when I was here, like I remember a lot of people would come and say, "Oh, your greens are so nice. They're so nice." But then after that, it became
they compliment you. They compliment you. Yeah, then shut it down. Because we do. I mean, we have really nice greens.
Yeah.
You know, and everything is grown on top of clay and shale and everything else.
Is this? I know these aren't USGA greens, but do you know what kind of, like, are they? What is underneath? Like, are they push-up greens? Are they just sand underneath, just put there?
It's clay, dude.
It's clay.
You've changed cups here.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was just all just dirt underneath there, except for 7 East.
Right. Yeah.
7 East is just all pure sand.
Is all sand. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how we actually do it, to be honest. Because as soon as you start to dig a hole a few foot down, you're in clay.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, the greens and tees and approaches are obviously different. You know, they have, you know, a better foundation underneath them. But yeah, like I even remember talking to Dawn the first time he came out here, and he was like, "I don't even know how you guys grow grass on top of some of this stuff." And it is tough. We've actually had more issues with drainage this year than we ever have, and it's rained more.
Yeah.
But you know, you go and you dig a hole, you see all different sorts of clay that you never even knew existed, like stuff that actually looks like gray concrete. You know, a foot and a half down. It doesn't let stuff do. It doesn't let rainwater get to where it needs to go.
Now that's one thing that I remember last year we put a new chemical on that let.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that day. That was fun, wasn't it? It rained the whole day.
It did rain that whole day, and then the one nozzle kept clogging up. Yeah.
That was fun. It was pouring down rain the whole day when we put that chemical down. Yeah, and that's just a part of, you know, improving what we do use.
Yeah.
You know, that was one portion of it, and it does help. It does help out. That particular chemical does help out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when it is wet like this. Yeah. So I'm just gonna try to push to get more stuff moving in to improve it.
That's awesome.
You know, if don't want to stay stagnant with what we do, because then you just get lazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know how it gets. You know, end of the season, you're sick of mowing greens, and then you just don't care what the hell they look like.
Yep.
You just want to get them done and hurry up and get some coffee and eat breakfast. You know, like stuff like that. So, you know, just want to try to keep moving forward instead of going backwards.
Absolutely.
So, and that's going to be a painful process, but
oh yeah,
you want to be better. It's what you got to do. So,
absolutely. Now, how many guys do we have? You got now on crew? Is there more than 10? No, no more than 10. Okay. No.
I would say 10. I would say 10 at the most. We got me, JR, Ginge, Bob, Jake, Ethan, Larry, D, Fred, Earl, John. 11.
Okay.
At the very most 11. We'll say a dozen, maybe something like that.
Yeah. And those guys are not all here the same day.
No, and that was the other cool thing. You know, Earl only does Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. He's old.
Yeah.
Which works perfectly. Loves it.
He's like what, 89 now, right?
No, he's not 89. He's I think maybe 85, something like that. But he's old. He doesn't sit on tractor all day. John does Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well.
Okay.
And also weekend stuff when I need him.
Yeah.
And then it was just basically me and the boys here, which was nice. They learned how to do stuff. You know, Tuesday, Thursday, I had Ginger and Bob on rough and stuff like that. It was good. It really was good. We really did make. We made a lot out of, not too much.
Yeah.
Which was cool. And I mean, it was credit to me. It was.
Yeah.
And that's not just like.
This is one of the years I wish I was still here because
it would have been
there was so much more organization.
It would have been a fun year.
Yeah, for sure.
And I wouldn't have had to have changed cups all that much on the weekends. I did get them doing that. They do a good job of that. Jake does a good job. We have a new kid, Brooks,
nice.
that goes to BC3 with Jake.
Okay.
And honest to God, if he weren't around,
yeah,
because he's only around in the fall.
Yeah.
He actually does like canoeing and takes people on like out in Minnesota and Canada sometimes, like stuff like that. I'm gonna butcher this. I think he's an Eagle Scout.
Okay. Oh wow.
So he does a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
And so he's only around in the fall. So they come before class. We got leaves to blow and stuff to do. But Brooks was mowing greens. It was good. It really was, because it was basically just me, him, and Jake.
Oh wow.
And that's what's going on now.
How much tree trimming? I know that was one thing that seemed like the last year. That's all.
Yeah, we did about a week and a half of it.
Okay.
JR got this new saw to put on the skid loader.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a circular saw that you can rotate, so he was able to cut some stuff from underneath.
Not like that one year where we just cleared all of.
No, like with the
hole.
East Course.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that this year, which was nice. Yeah, but he'll still ride around and be like, oh, there's lots of brush still to pick up, and it's like, yeah.
There's always brush to pick up.
Yeah.
I mean,
branches fall every single day.
We have more trees on this golf course, and then this course has more acreage than any other course that I know of anyhow at the moment around this area.
Yeah, I would say that we do, because we have another 9. I mean, it is I think it's only 125.
Okay.
Which is still a lot.
That is still a lot.
When you think of just
we
sheer acreage.
18 plus another 9. And it's not like, it's just a par 3. When I say, it's just the executive, of course people think, well, that's just the small par 3 course that no one cares about.
It's not a pitch and putt.
Yeah, it is, 2,500 yards, but I mean, it still plays.
No, it's longer than that.
I thought that's what the scorecard said.
I gotta grab one. Or no, they pulled the East Course ones. We've been done.
Oh, that's right. I did see a sign there. Yeah, but it's.
I don't think it's 2,500 yards.
It's something like that. I thought.
Well, I mean, let's see what we get. So we got.
But it's still a difficult course, is what I'm saying. It's still there's still a lot of property there that has a lot of golf being played on it.
Right.
Yeah. But it's still a lot of acreage, and we still got and you still have so much property to deal with such a little crew. You look at, I mean, even though it's a huge scale, you look at Oakmont and they have 50 some guys, right? I don't know how many they have, but they have. It seems like the times I've been there, it's like 20 guys on a hole, and that's every hole.
Yeah. When I interviewed with them, the assistant made it very clear that sometimes you triple cut, triple roll the greens every day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. What else do we do all day?
I mean, triple cut, triple roll. That's like that just takes your whole day. That's all you would be doing here.
Push behind it.
Yeah.
Walk behinds.
That's crazy.
But it's tough.
Yeah.
It would be a lot easier, because you know how stuff goes. We get the stuff done on the main course, then whatever time we have left, we go to the East Course. It would be a lot easier just to, because you imagine just a simple process of mowing greens. Do you imagine 3 greens mowers going out for 18 holes? That's 6 greens.
Yeah.
And you're done in an hour max.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I like, because when we are busy, okay, the spillover goes over there. That's basically what it was intended for. As far as I know, like people always talk about like the boom of golf, which was like the late 80s and early 90s. Everybody was adding holes so you could have more people on the course. And I was like, oh, I just thought we had that, because nobody else has it. You have junior golfers, you go over there. You have people that really don't want to, that aren't comfortable, or new golfers, go over there.
Yeah.
Because then all we do is hear about them on the main course, holding everybody up, even though there's golfers on every hole. So it has its place. So I'll always defend having that. Plus, then it's fun. If you're not really, if you want to work on your irons, you go on that course.
Yeah.
And actually game.
Yeah.
And not just go, James just called me, and not actually go, just to the driving range. You're actually playing holes.
But it's a great practice area.
Yeah.
If you want to work on a short game, that's where you need to go. And it's not like it's not any more less manicured than the
it's
the same.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same.
It's maintained exactly the same. You're right.
Yeah.
So.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to being done.
Yeah. I think everybody hits that point, no matter what part of the green grass side you're working in. Everybody hits that point.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on the green grass side hits that point. It's like, oh, I can't wait for the season to be done. And then when that season is done, it's like, man, you wish you had more work. But
no, I won't. I really won't, pal.
Well, I thank you, Harrison, for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
It's been fun. I'll see you guys next time.
So that was episode 9, part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a lot of information that he shared that is very useful to other people in the golf industry for grounds crew, what they can do differently. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next time for another TM GolfCast.